Hello, hello Virgo. Welcome to your October 2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a Sun, Moon, or Rising Virgo. And I know you have all missed me so much. I know. Yes, I have a life and I'm a real person. So it happens. But if you would like to stay up to date, I do give updates on and things on other platforms, so make sure you follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing, that you're signed up for my newsletter because you get a reading every Sunday and it's awesome. So sign up for that. The link is in the description box. And because I didn't do September readings, I'm going to give you guys a bonus card at the end, which I usually do during your season. So I'll give you guys one at the end after the 3-card pick. Make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video so that you get that bonus card. And let's have a good time today, shall we? I'm going to lay this spread out, then we will get started. Okay, so this, just so you know, it is just a plain Celtic cross. I just repositioned the cards so that they all fit on the table because these are big. So the first thing we have coming up for you is have a conversation with the aching. So the pain points a lot of the time are past projections that we're blasting onto new situations that are just coming up to be processed. So having a conversation with the aching is kind of looking underneath the pain at what's really going on and identifying what you need, maybe what needs to change or how you need to approach things differently. Where can you kind of pour love into all of those nooks and crannies so that you're not suffering unnecessarily. That's really what this is about in terms of the conversation, because the feelings have wisdom, so treat them as such. And then we have memories, cherish memories of loved ones. I'm also getting, my gut is telling me that this card also has to do with using past evidence as data. Like the good things that have happened, the challenges you've overcome, the way that things have transpired. Use the good news that you've had historically as evidence for yourself moving forward. And then we have ritual, seek joy in repetition, explore the sacredness of the task at hand, be intentional with your time. So I'm getting there's some divine masculine coming up in this, because this is a very masculine card that's coming through in terms of adding structure or implementing a routine. Now let me say, routine does not mean for everyone. Everyone's going to be different. But if you are failing every time you try to like carve out like 15-minute increments of time and you're not sticking to that, you're overdoing it with the restriction. You're falling way too heavy into masculine if it's suffocating you and you fail every time. So there can be fluidity and flexibility in the ritual, in the routine. So you have to decide how much structure and boundaries do you need to implement that work for your specific masculine feminine composition. And that's what this card is highlighting to you. But it does look like the masculine energy needs to be explored so that you can really anchor into your own stability. The central energy for October is the 7 of Wands. So this is rising above challenges. Like if you've been feeling like you've been having a hard time, or you're really struggling with something, or things have been feeling hard, you're finally coming out of the weeds with all of that. So things are going to ease up a lot for you in October. I'm getting that this is just going to get easier and easier and easier. So let's see what the crossing energy is. Knight of Pentacles. So that consistency, habits, patterns that you're installing for yourself at this time are really going to make things easier as you move forward. So the 7 of Wands is in support of you kind of evolving out of struggle and into ease. And you're doing that You're anchoring into stability in order to do that and make that happen. Or even if you find yourself falling into a bad mindset, getting back on the horse, getting back on track with everything. If you find yourself kind of going back into projecting bad outcomes, you know, make your way back to the ideal. And then what you have shifting out is the Three of Wands. This is about things feeling very far away, is the best way I can put it. So if you have been feeling as though, oh my God, things are so far, or oh my God, I'm not going to be able to make this happen, or oh, it's going to take forever for me to make this happen. That is a lie. That's an illusion. That is not true. Things are actually much closer for you at this point in time, and things are starting to come together as you show up for them as if this is what's happening. This is the only option. I'm only available for ease. I'm only available for more abundance. I'm only available for more love. I'm only available. Like, remove all other options. This is about making a clear decision and being available for that and stepping into it fully in the present moment. The Three of Wands, one of the traps that we can get sucked into is the idea that it's so far away when really the creative space is in the present moment. So getting really present this month. The oncoming energy is the Three of Swords. Yes, I love this. I know some of you are like, no, please, no more heartache. That's not what this has to do with. This has to do with identity. This has to do with releasing the old perceptions, paradigms, thoughts, the old things that you were probably telling yourself, oh, this is just how I am, or this is how it's going to be forever. You were probably over-identifying with that, and this is about releasing those parts of yourself. Of course, I'm going to clarify this. You guys know I don't like to leave you with just a naked Three of Swords. So we have the Empress, divine feminine, allowing the feelings, the fears, the aches, the pains to come up, having a discussion with them. This is not a matter of tragedy. That's what I want to make really clear, because people associate Three of Swords with tragedy when really I associate it more with releasing, creating space, recovering, and healing the heart, healing the mental body. Because again, the pillar this month is ease. Things getting easier and easier and easier. And because you have a conversation with the aching, all of this is coming together for you to finally shift out of the pain body, we could call it. And that's what the Three of Swords is, because if you're replacing it with the Empress, like that's the supporting energy in the Three of Swords. This is showing just more ease, more flow, and grace. The outward manifestation for you is the Queen of Swords. So doing things your way, going by the beat of your own drum, not listening to what others project you should be doing or should be thinking or anything like that. You're doing it perfectly so long as you're in alignment. What I mean when I say in alignment is doing it in a way that when you reflect on yourself down the line, will you feel good about the choice that you made, or were you just listening to someone else and kind of falling into that and listening to them even though it was deeply out of alignment with you and didn't feel good to you? So focus on, how do I feel about this decision, or how will I perceive myself as I observe myself making this choice and this decision? And letting your soul guide you more than other people's projections. Always getting into that habit. In the subconscious, we have the Nine of Swords. So this is where the Three of Swords is supporting you. The Nine of Swords is the illusion of fear. Of, oh my God, I'm going to lose it, or something bad is going to happen, or there's going to be tragedy and destruction, or this is never going to work for me. All of those nightmarish things that come up in your mind that you conjure up as a way to quote unquote protect yourself, which is what the ego is designed to do. This is an illusion. So you're in the process of waking up from that and shifting into ease, releasing the part of you that fears the emotional body or fears the experience of living. Sometimes it's like we get so afraid of risk that we don't even want to jump in the pool. And so that's the part that you're letting go of and being okay with the feeling, with the experiences, not over identifying with the fear. So that's how this is kind of coming together, is you're releasing this. You're in the process of shedding this skin. The advice for you this month is the Chariot. Move forward. I really like this energy of go for it. Yes, yes, yes. Move forward fearlessly. Or rather, you can have the fear, just don't let that be making the decisions for you. Because the Chariot, there is like some instability. The nature of this card is not structured and stable. It actually gives the impression of like a chaotic situation. I'm getting that this has more to do with your internal perception of the situation. It's not as chaotic as it may feel or that you may be experiencing temporarily, because you're also anchoring into the rituals, into your divine masculine, as far as showing up and creating those boundaries, that container for the wildness that you experience here. So continue moving forward. Do it, do it, do it. Don't back away from the challenge. Don't look at this as, oh, I'm afraid it won't happen, so I'm going to hold myself back. You know, don't fall into those old patterns. This is about releasing that part of yourself and trusting yourself. The external influences, we have the Queen of Cups. So this is emotions, feelings, being heart-centered. This is all about coming from the heart, speaking your truth. All of that energy is coming up here. And this could also be a person who is evoking that from you. Or this could be like situations that are around you that require this from you. So whether this be a person or situation, one way or another, dropping into the heart is the best way to go about it. Hopes and fears, we have, this is the full moon. I'm going to clarify this, but the first thing that's coming to mind is almost like a hope and a fear of things coming to fruition. I don't mean completeness as in things are coming to an end. I mean fullness, like, oh, this is actually happening. There might be something here. What I'm getting is still holding on to the idea that struggle is necessary, hardship is necessary, that heartbreak is inevitable, bad things are inevitable. That's what this combo is right here. And getting back to what you desire coming to fruition is the core desire, but there also may be part of you that's fearing that as well. I'm going to clarify this. Eight of Cups, you have to change your mind about this. If it's what you want, commit to that being what you desire and what you are creating in this life. If you find yourself like having fears about these things coming up, or you experiencing these things, or oh my God, if I get this thing, then is something bad going to happen? All of that is a mental game. That's a matter of you having to flip and invert how you're perceiving this and what you're doing with this. So remember, this is a practice of changing your mind again and again and again. And that's not an easy task, just so we're all on the same page. It does require attention, consciousness, and effort. So that's your job to get fully on board with this thing is happening. This is how it gets to be. And then the outcome of the month, we have the Five of Cups. Again, I think by the end of the month, you're still going to be working through the perceived fear. I'll clarify this for you as well, because the nice thing about the Five of Cups is that it's also an illusion card. I could easily make this molehill into a mountain. That's what the Five of Cups does to the situation. But again, the core of this reading is the Seven of Wands, which is about shifting into ease, shifting out of struggle. And to clarify, we have the Three of Cups. for this card. So again, it's like you can focus day and night on everything that does not work or hasn't worked, or boo-hoo. You can boo-hoo as long as you want, but that's not an indication of what's happening. There's a lot of illusion in this reading. So your job is to get your mind right, get your mind decided, get your process and even the ritual of how you deal with your emotions, looking at your past successes, letting that be what guides you, and knowing that like fun and joy and play, that's actually what you have the potential to tap into. But the mental body wants to ruin everything, right? The ego, it wants to spoil all the fun. It wants to like get in the way all the time. So because this reading is for 1 month, you know, it's not going to be something where you resolve the mind in a month, right? That's not how this works. This is a practice. So you're practicing throughout the month of October, getting into that space of letting things be easy, letting things be fun, not anticipating the worst, releasing the part of yourself that is trying to get in the way of you getting your desire, so on and so forth. So remember, this isn't an indication of like, oh, bad things are going to happen. I know there's plenty of readers who do that, but life is more nuanced than that. So let's do a 3-card pick now. You're welcome to ask a question, ask for guidance, clarity, support, whatever you want or need. And then you can just pick whichever card is calling to you or that feels good to you. Okay, card number 1. 7 of Wands. Again, see, this is fear, chaos, struggle, and you're rising above that. This is the card that's at the center of the spread this month. And so this is what I'm saying. Like, you can be in a situation where it feels hard, or the experience you might be perceiving and projecting as being bad, but your practice is rising above again and again and again. That's the name of the game this month. Card number 2, we have death, rebirth. This is about letting the old version of you, the identity, the pieces that don't serve you, letting them die away. They have to die. Like, you have to make space. You can't simultaneously hold a really convicted ego and letting that run you and let your higher self run you at the same time, right? You can hold both, but in terms of who's in the driver's seat, that's something that you have to consciously decide for yourself. So this is about letting the old die so that it can make room for what you do desire and do want. And a lot of this seems to be internal for you. Card number 3, we have the Queen of Swords, mastering the mental body. That has to be the core of what you're working with this month. So it's about the mind. Go to the mind. The problem is in the mind. The solution is in the mind. Change the mind. Decide with the mind. Get the mind on board as best as you can. And it's really challenging because your soul already knows. The spirit is like, this is a piece of cake. This is no big deal. Just listen to me. But the mental body is what needs to be worked through and worked on in the month of October. So like, commit to that and know that both the problems and solutions are in the mental body. Now the bonus card for you for your birthday season that has passed. Let's see. Seven of Cups. Okay, so lots of options, lots of different angles. It's kind of like you have many irons in the fire, And it's completely okay for you to have many irons in the fire, have a lot of different things going on, a bunch of different projects and focuses and different things that you want to do. You can get them all done. Just be patient with yourself, because one thing that will paralyze you is if you put pressure on yourself to do everything at the same time and achieve it all in the same day. That is kryptonite. Don't even play those games. The Seven of Cups is saying, yes, there's many options. You might just want to move forward with the one that either feels the best or the easiest, or that really lights you up in all the right ways. And so just look at it from that standpoint. You can have all the different options, but lean into what feels good to you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, everybody. If you would like to know which decks I use, they are listed in the description box. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing. Take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure you leave a comment and a thumbs up if you feel called to. And sign up for my newsletter. Check me out on other social media platforms. And until next time, have a beautiful October, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.